I've got no service in the club, you say.
Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber have emerged as two of the most successful artists of our generation. Two of the people behind their success is Carter, the manager of Lady Gaga, and Scooter Braun, he's the manager of Justin Bieber. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Troy, how does Lady Gaga approach the business aspect? I know you said, what you see is what you get, and that's a creative artist, right? But she's, of course, realistic. I'm sure she understands that she has to capitalize on certain opportunities. So how do you help her kind of create the kind of platform she needs or the image that she needs and to become that sensation on YouTube? I mean, it's amazing how many hits you see her videos be able to garner.
Now we have a 95-5 rule where, 95% of the time I don't comment on the creative, and 95% of the time she doesn't comment on the business. So it's a real trust relationship.
That rule's famous with them. I've heard about that rule. I've heard about that rule and liked it.
And it's real, it's trust between us.
Yeah.
And but my job as a manager is to really to protect her vision, and make sure the vision gets executed on, and then and I figure out ways to monetize it.
Yeah. Where are the different monetization opportunities today, and where do you perceive new opportunities rising up? Whether that's you and Gaga or you and Bieber.
I think in any business things are constantly shifting, and your strategy is to help continue to grow your brand, and then look at the opportunities of how your brand can grow other businesses that can sustain as their own brand. So I think for all you young entrepreneurs out there watching, if you have a brilliant idea, Troy and I will combine the powers of Gaga and Bieber, give us a large piece of equity, and we will I think that's the whole reason we come to things like this, and it's less about people wanting to hear us speak and us wanting to get out there and hear what they have to offer.
No, exactly, and just finding that next idea. It's who's the next Twitter, who's the next Facebook,
But specifically looking at your artists and what they can do and where they can be profitable, what are some new interesting streams that you're looking at?
What we look for is a bigger platform. How can we create a new experience for the fans? And to be honest with you, I haven't seen anything over the last year that's going to revolutionize the way things are done. But we always have our eyes open.
You look at the ideas of this whole virtual goods. You look at you look at all these new platforms, from the Foursquares to all these different things that people are using that are kind of like the next things coming, and you start to. I don't want to name these companies that I've been looking at, but you start to look at a lot of. I went out and flew out to San Francisco and spent 2 weeks just meeting with new young entrepreneurs out there, because I want to know who's next, and realize that the power our artists have created for themselves on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube are very, very valuable for launching these new platforms.
No, between Justin and Gaga, we're probably responsible for 50 to 60% of all the traffic on Vivo.
Yeah.
Well,
more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. If we can launch, these are all platforms where people are making lots of money, and they're, and we're responsible for it, and we're not participating.
Yeah.
And you walk that line of you need them to a certain extent. You need your Twitter, you need your Facebook. They existed before you. You're helping launch them bigger and bigger, but they're also helping you monetize and make your tours bigger and sell your records. So there's no resentment there.
Yeah.
But the idea is now we've built to this point, and you got to earn it before you can ask for it. And now we feel like we've earned it, and now we're going to go meet with
So restructuring some of those relationships.
No, not even those relationships. Going out and finding the next thing.
Okay.
It's.
Well, you mentioned different types of the next thing. And people have been talking a lot about the Foursquare, the check-ins, the Goalas, that type of thing. So, could a Bieber badge be in the works, like check into Bieber's favorite places or something like that?
Yes, it very well could. No, I mean it's.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give everything away, but we've been spending a lot of time looking at that space, because the great thing about technology is that when you create a platform that works, that truly, truly works, and isn't dependent upon a Gaga or a Justin, but can be launched by Gaga and Justin, it becomes the platform for the next Gaga and Justin. Our biggest dream is to put them in a financial position where they could literally concentrate on their art and never have to worry about the dollar again. And the only way to truly do that in a business where, you know, we sold 60,000 records last week, and that was, I think, 2 or 3 months after our album came out, and it was the #1 album in the country.
Wow.
#1 on Billboard. That's a very devastating stat for the music business. And people were calling me, oh my God, it's the 4th week at #1. You guys got back to #1. Oh my God. And I said, well, if everyone else is dying, I don't want to die with them. I don't want to celebrate this. And it makes guys like Troy and myself, it just makes us want to work harder and come. The fact that Troy and I are the only people that I've seen at this conference from the music business,
yeah, I thought about that,
is blowing my mind. I said this to L.A. Reid yesterday, the chairman of Island Def Jam. I said to him yesterday, I said, the fact that you're not down there and people from your company aren't down there, meaning everyone, is just, it's not right. I mean, I could use a lot of other words, but I'm trying to be polite.
Could be a PG crowd.
But the fact that it's called Disrupt should have every record label here right now, because no media business has been disrupted like the record business.
And if we don't come to conferences like this and find that next young entrepreneur and find that next young idea and become a part of it, we're going to die. So it's, you know, I think conferences like this are more important than celebrating our achievements at the Grammys. Even though I want to get a couple like you do.
Unfortunately, wonderful conversation, and I'm sure the people on Twitter, etc., will be talking about it. So once again, my guests have been Scooter and Troy of Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber's team. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.